Last time, we showed you how live TV production left the stadium. Cameras stay. Everything else moves to a control room hundreds of miles away. But that control room is still a room. Racks of hardware, a switcher the size of a dining table, millions of dollars bolted into a building. Now that room is disappearing too. The switcher is becoming software. The replay machine is becoming a browser tab. And some of the biggest broadcasts on Earth are already being mixed on servers that belong to Amazon and Alibaba. This is cloud production, and it's the second half of the story we started last episode. To understand what's being replaced, look at what a control room really is. Specialized computers, purpose-built to move video with zero delay. A production switcher isn't just that panel with the glowing buttons. The panel is a remote control. The real work happens in a frame in the rack. Dedicated silicon that can cut between dozens of video sources in exactly one frame, every time. Around it sits a video router that lets any source reach any destination, replay servers recording every camera around the clock, and a wall of multi-viewers. A serious control room build runs well into the millions, and it's obsolete-ish in 7 to 10 years. Here's the thing about all that hardware. Every year, more of what it does can be done by ordinary servers. And ordinary servers are exactly what the cloud rents by the hour. So how do you mix a live show on a computer you never touched? The venue side looks the same as REMI. Cameras into encoders, feeds compressed and sent north. But instead of landing in a building, they land in a cloud region, the same data centers that run your email. Inside, software does what the rack used to do. A switcher that exists only as code cuts between sources. Replay runs on virtual machines. Graphics render on rented GPUs. The director and TD see a multi-viewer streamed back to them as video, and they operate the show from a browser, from a facility, an office, or a kitchen table. Two hard problems make this genuinely difficult. First, timing. Broadcast hardware keeps every source locked to the same clock, frame for frame. The public internet doesn't care about your frame boundaries, so cloud systems have to align sources themselves, buffering and retiming everything before the switcher sees it. Second, latency stacks. Encode at the venue, transport, align, switch, transport again to the operator's screen. Every step adds delay, and the operator is cutting a show they're seeing later than it happened. Modern systems keep the operator's view under a second or two, and for most events, that's workable. For a replay operator marking the exact frame of a catch, it's an adjustment. And the codec doing the heavy lifting on the contribution side, increasingly, is JPEG XS, compression light enough to be nearly invisible, fast enough to add almost no delay. This isn't a lab demo. The Olympics are the flagship case. Olympic Broadcasting Services moved massive parts of its distribution and production workflow onto Alibaba's cloud. By recent games, OBS was delivering more remote feeds through the cloud than through satellite. Major networks and production companies now run cloud or hybrid control rooms for real broadcasts. Packages like Grass Valley's AMPP and Vizardi's cloud tools exist specifically to be a control room without a room. But the most interesting adopters are at the bottom, not the top. A college conference, an esports league, a regional sports operation, outfits that could never build a physical control room can now rent one for 3 hours on a Saturday. The same long-tail effect REMI started. Cloud production finishes. The cost of entry for broadcast-quality live TV keeps falling through the floor. Now the honest part. 3 reasons your favorite show probably still isn't fully cloud. 1. The clock problem. For Tier 1 sport, frame accurate isn't a preference, it's the contract. Cloud timing has gotten good, but good and guaranteed are different words, and broadcast engineering culture is built on guaranteed. 2. The cost surprise. Renting beats buying. Until you're streaming dozens of high bitrate feeds out of a cloud provider all season and the egress bill arrives. Data leaving the cloud costs real money, and video is the heaviest thing on the internet. For heavy year-round use, owned hardware can still win the math. 3. The culture wall. A control room you can walk into can be fixed by a person with a flashlight. When the switcher is software in a data center you'll never see, your broadcast engineer becomes a cloud engineer, and that job change, not the technology, is the slowest part of this whole transition. Put the 2 episodes together, and the trajectory is unmistakable. Production left the stadium. Now it's leaving the building. What's left is a person, a screen, and a connection, and a question nobody's fully answered. If the control room could be anywhere, what happens to the people who used to fill it? That's next time. The crews, who's actually on a broadcast, what those jobs pay, and which ones survive the next decade. If you work this industry, you'll want that one. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you've cut a show from the cloud, or refuse to, tell us why in the comments. The war stories are always better than the spec sheets.